Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Let's get into the question of the day. Question of the day. What if Shedeur doesn't remain a Brown? Let's talk about it, chat. What if he does not remain a Cleveland Brown? It's a real thing. It's a realistic thing, chat. Everybody that's into the sports, type in. Everybody that's still with me, 333 in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We got a special promotion on the like button. It is zero charge.
Classic.
Heavy on the like button. I need y'all to lean on that joint. But check it out. What if Shedeur doesn't remain a Cleveland Brown? Understand, right now, currently, they had him 4th on the depth chart before this performance. In front of him, Joe Flacco, who's number 1 on the depth chart. Kenny Pickett, number 2. Dylan Gabriel, who is a 3rd-round draft pick. And Shedeur is 4th, who was a 5th-round draft pick. Now, Gabriel dealing with a hamstring, I think. And Pickett dealing with something, ain't he? And then, obviously, Flacco just old. So you would think, oh, well, shit, they just going to move Shedeur up. But that's not the business. See, this is business, too. In the words of Jay-Z, politics as usual. Yeah, so it's business. You understand? So there is a scenario that exists where Shedeur performing well in the preseason creates a value in the trade market for him. You understand me? Or he could traditionally just be cut. We spent the 3rd-round draft pick on Dylan. We done spent too much money on Joe. He the one right now. He the one. And then Pickett got a little hamstring, but we really want a veteran backup. We don't want to have to use Gabriel. And then there's Shedeur just kind of on the roster type shit. So understand with the business, there's a realistic scenario where Shedeur Sanders may not end up being a Brown. Now listen, y'all just heard I got deep reverence for the boy's skills and the way he get down on the field. You understand? Y'all know where I want him to end up. He already from Texas, ain't he? And I ain't talking about the Texans. They got a young boy named Stroud over there. You know what I'm talking about, that blue stock.
Classic.
Huh? Him and Dakota, mobility levels and kind of how the system is designed, and this I can see him going over there getting some tutelage from Dakota Prescott and going ahead and stepping into that role.
Classic.
Yeah. I want him to be a Cowboy. I've been saying it. Dion and Jerry, they close. They tight. They done played a couple holes of golf. You know what I'm saying? I need him in Texas.
Classic.
If something go down and Shedeur ain't a Brown, I need him in Texas. Don't leave when I talk this Cowboy shit. Don't leave. I need him in Texas. Yeah.
Classic.
Huh? It's gonna hit different. I can see Dion sliding over there to Dallas, becoming offensive coordinator or something, maybe even head coach, knowing how Prime get down.
Classic.
I'm just hypothetically speaking. Now, Miles, I do have a Steelers fan in here. Miles, he said he will move up. KP might get the axe. You think Pickett gonna get the axe? What's Pickett contract? Somebody look it up for me in the chat. What's Kenny Pickett contract? He said, I hear the ice cream man. What you mean you hear the ice cream man? What you mean? What that mean? Listen to me. Miles, I got good news for you, though. Being a Steelers fan, we're going to talk about this objectively. I had to show love to my Cowboys first, but let's talk about this objectively. I got news for you, Miles. There's a scenario. The Pittsburgh quarterback situation is weird as hell. And Shedeur damn near costs free right now. He damn near free to pay for. You understand me? Pittsburgh done went and got old-ass A-Rod, old-ass Russell Wilsons. Do y'all still got my boy from the Bears? Fields? Y'all still got Fields or no? I don't know what y'all did with him. It's a situation where they could bring Shedeur over there to Pittsburgh in a trade deal, with the Browns for not much at all in a trade deal, and putting behind A-Rod to learn for a year, and go ahead and go ahead and start him next year. Shit, if he's sitting behind, you already got Russell Wilson to sit behind A-Rod, so that's gonna be your backup for sure. Shedeur could just learn behind them two for a season, and then y'all go ahead put him out there and watch him get better year by year, and just roll. It's a situation where he could be in Pittsburgh. Jay Wu said if he doesn't remain a Brown, wherever he goes, he gonna bring value like a diamond in the rough. Just needs to be cleaned and polished. Yeah, for sure. All you gotta do is put him on the
Classic.
field. Shedeur could ball, man. All they gotta do is put him on the field. I think him going in the 5th round was a blessing in disguise, and I knew it off rip because I said, shit. Normally, when you go super high in the draft, you go to a trash team. Generally speaking, a fairly trash team. So even if you come out ready, guns blazing, you might not have all the weapons you need to even be successful like that. You understand what I'm saying? By him going in the 5th, he could damn near, like I say, if he end up not being a Brown, which will probably be in his best interest, not gonna hold you. You feel me? He need to go somewhere pass heavy. For real, he that type of player. He want to throw the ball around. He need to go somewhere pass heavy where he could check down if he needs to, and he you know what I'm saying? He's under Brady. He a mentee of Brady. You feel me? He want to get rid of the ball quick anyway. He know he ain't got the wheels to be running no 4-6 away from these linebackers running 4-3s now and shit. You understand me? The game played above the shoulders, man. So I'm just saying, if he end up not being a Brown, he could end up in a situation on a decent team, even if he got to be a backup for a year or two. Like if he went to the Cowboys, realistically, he might have to sit 2 years behind Dak Prescott. But man, listen, that's worth it. That's worth it. Look how Aaron Rodgers turned out. Sitting behind Brett Favre, and then when he finally came, and then Jordan Love, all right. He had some bumps in the road. He got a receiving core that seemed to have some voodoo on them. Them boys stay hurt. You know what I'm saying? But Jordan Love, all right, after sitting behind A-Rod. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Miles Baxter said, Aaron and Howard, fracture hand. Oh, yeah. Y'all need him. Y'all need Shedeur. But I wouldn't be mad seeing Shedeur end up anywhere on a team with a potential to play and a potential to win. I think he's that good. I think Shedeur is that good. I think like how CJ Stroud got all them weapons out there in Houston when them boys was healthy. When he had all them weapons out there in Houston when them boys was healthy, that boy looked immaculate because he could really ball. But when your studs go down, the separation between a star 1 and a decent 2, it's a nice little gap right there. There is, because cornerbacks are good, defensive schemes are getting great. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little gap. And so sometimes, quarterbacks and the way the system is set up, they can't get away with going out there with a bunch of their tools because everybody hurt. You know what I mean? Everybody always want to know what's in the juice. Jay Wu said, what's that you drinking? Today I made my strawberry lemonade concoction. I don't know if I'm gonna get that recipe out exactly, but it's juiced strawberries, lemon. It's a combination of strawberries, lemons, and apples. That's all I'm gonna give, and a couple more things. But yeah, it's my strawberry lemonade concoction. But I'm thinking about monetizing that because I drink that shit like 4 times a week. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't want to give away the whole recipe right here. But yeah, it's healthy. It ain't nothing crazy in the jar. It's super healthy. Miles Baxter said we gotta face Travis tonight. Oh yeah, you got problems on your hands. You know how that's gonna look. He got points to prove. A player that good with points to prove, you know how it's gonna. Y'all just out there to be on tape. It is what it is. 333 J Woo. What up, man? Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, if Shedeur doesn't end up being a Brown, where would y'all want to see him go? Tell me that before we get off this question of the day in the chat. Where would y'all want to see him go if he don't end up being a Brown? I gotta know. And then we moving into the other question of the day. Get y'all. Okay, Miles said Pittsburgh. Obviously, right? Obviously, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Cowboys. I wanna see him in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? You know where I want to see him. I'm cool with it. However his career's supposed to go, I'm cool with that shit happening in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I like to see Shedeur in Dallas as our number one quarterback for 7 to 10 years. You feel me? With the way he approached the game, he has a playing style where he could have a long career. You know what I'm saying? Not having a high level of like impact, not taking a lot of weird hits and stuff like that. And then even with him not relying on mobility when he does, because it's 100% injury sport, right? So when he does get hurt, he can come back and still play his game. You know what I mean? Because it's not predicated upon mobility, where it's like an example, because his career is over. So I'll use it as an example. But when Michael Vick was playing, if he sustained a heavy lower body injury to where he couldn't come back like even 70% as mobile as he was, it would change his whole entire game. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody who never was relying on mobility in the first place. Dexter, what's going on, Dexter?
Classic.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to chat 333. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, stick with me, man. We the most consistent with the classic codes. My first time seeing you here. Welcome.
Classic.
He said the Saints. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Listen, I'm not no hater. I got my own best interest in mind, right? I would love to see him with the Cowboys, but I'm not a hater. Like, it's some teams that I still would enjoy watching him play for. Because I'm one of them people where, like, I only don't like your team if that's who we playing this week. You feel me? If you're a Carolina Panthers fan and we playing y'all this week, I ain't fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? But if Carolina playing against, New England, I might be rooting for you, depending on, how the parlay set up. You feel me? I might have a jersey on next to you at the sports bar. Yeah, there. See it, depending on how the parlay set up. Hey, come on. Let's go, Bryce. You feel me? I ain't no hater. So I definitely could see him on the Saints. I could see him in Pittsburgh. I'm trying to see him in Dallas. But another destination where I think it wouldn't necessarily is, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in the game for y'all. But they generally get some good pieces on offense and it just don't pan out. But I wouldn't be mad if he went out there to Arizona. Kyler Murray ain't seeming to get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? He good for fantasy football on certain weeks and shit. But it seemed to be a little ceiling over his head as far as his ability, and level of success he's going to achieve as a starting quarterback in the NFL, if I'm being objective. And I like Kyler. But he ain't really getting over the hump, man. And he done had some years with some pretty potent offensive pieces, man. I'm just being real. I think you put Shedeur out there in Arizona and give him the keys, he might see the light. Only thing is, that's a tough ass division. You see what I'm saying? Miami, nope. No, only reason I'm gonna disagree with you, Miles, because it's too sexy in Miami. It's too sexy in Miami, and Shedeur already got that aura. He got that glow. He get out there. The city. I ain't gonna say the city gonna swallow him up. Miami just got more distractions than a nigga need right now, bro. Miami just got more distractions than a nigga need right now. Listen, man, we all still human beings. You could be as locked in as you want, G. You living in Miami, bro. You live there, bro. You know what I'm saying? He already was pulling up, you know what I'm saying? However, Phantom Bentley, he already was having no. He ain't got no business. No, Miami is for athletes that have matured a little bit. Maybe your second, third contract, you slide out there to Miami when your head on your shoulders a little bit. Maybe you already made you a shorty or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. You don't just throw the rookie in Miami.
Classic.
Like hell no, Miles. Hell no. Dexter said, I'm a Cowboys fan myself, and the Saints need a quarterback bad. Tyler Soft, though. Soft, not it. Who is Tyler? That's their quarterback? I'm telling y'all, G, it's so crazy how I'll be so nice with the fantasy football. It's so crazy how I be so nice with fantasy football because I swear I don't be keeping up with the offseason. I really don't keep up with the offseason. I lock in like the last 2 weeks before the fantasy draft. I lock in, and I got some really good channels that I follow, which on some hating shit I'm not going to name drop because y'all going to use the information against me. But I got some real good fantasy football channels that I follow, and I lock in with them and their perspectives. I tie my own perspectives to it, and I'm always competitive in both my fantasy football leagues. I'm actually thinking about starting a Classic Codes Fantasy League. We could do it for free this first year just so we can establish some integrity and some principles about each other. What y'all think, chat? If y'all want to start a fantasy football league, maybe like 6 to 8 teams, drop a 333 in the chat. I'm serious too. I'm already a commissioner of 2 leagues, so we could really put it together. We could do it just for fun this year, or something like $5, some simple shit. Miles Bachelor said Tua's head is a ticking time bomb. That's why I said Miami. Yeah, they definitely need a solid backup in Miami, bro. But I don't want Shedeur out there, dog. I don't want him out there, dog. Listen, man, you seen the women in Miami, man. You know what I'm saying? They look like how them cyborg women they making in the lab. They look like how them finna look. Shit crazy out there, man. No, for real. And then they know how to talk to you too, to get everything that they want from you. Miami, no. I'm telling you right now, it's just hard to be focused, man. It really is. It really is. But yeah, man. All right, let's move on from this question of the day. What if Shedeur doesn't remain a Brown? All right, so the other question of the day before we get to the cold language conversation, how do you see Canelo versus Crawford? I like it. How do you see Canelo versus Crawford? I see both men having a path to victory. I'm gonna try to take this one slow. We'll put up some Crawford training footage while I talk about this. You know what I'm saying? I see some how do I want to start this conversation? All right. So how do I want to start this conversation? So I see both men having a path to victory, right? Like I do believe that Crawford has a couple of different game plans he could take on to beat Canelo. And I think Canelo has more than one way that he could beat Terrence Crawford. He does. I think a few things depend. And we have to see the fight happen, of course. But I think it depends. Let me say this. Who's the better boxer overall? Terrence Crawford. Between the two of them, Terrence Crawford is the better overall boxer. Certain variables, though. We haven't seen him fight at all at this weight. He himself has not fought at all at this weight. Sparring big dudes in the gym with 16s on, headgears. You know what I mean? You get an idea. It's not the same. Miles Bachelor said Bud's chin is too available and Canelo is a marksman. Okay, let's talk. I'm going to talk to you, chat. So you said his chin is too available and Canelo is a marksman. Sounds good. So Canelo hasn't had a knockout in his last 7 fights against lesser competition. I think we all can agree that Terrence Crawford is better than Edgar Berlanga. He's better than Jaime Munguia. He's better than Ryder. I would say he's better than Bivol, even though Bivol is damn good. Canelo hasn't had a knockout in his last 7 fights. And none of them are as good at the sport of boxing as Terrence Crawford. So that's a good starting point. I'll start right there. This fight isn't going to end in a knockout. Listen to me again. I know a lot of y'all do the parlays. A lot of y'all do the lays. This fight is not going to end in a knockout. It's not. Terrence is going to give Canelo an appropriate level of respect with respect to his game plan and his desire to come out on top of the fight. So he's going to give him enough respect to keep himself, appropriately cautious. However, he's going to be trying to win the fight. And with that being said, you're going to take some risk. I don't think Terrence Crawford is preparing to avoid getting hit by Canelo Alvarez at all. Like, fighters don't think like civilians. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's more so going to get in there and see what the punches feel like and go from there. You know what I mean? As far as how aggressive he's going to be, what types of risk he's going to take, how he needs to measure his approach. I think he's more excited to see how the punches feel than he is afraid of how they're going to feel. Fighters don't think like civilians. Dexter said Crawford by decision. I see that. I can see that happening. That's the direction I'm leaning.
Classic.
Miles said 12 rounds. Who will be the busier fighter? I think that's gonna be close. I think the punch stat's gonna be close. Bud being a naturally smaller man fighting at a much heavier weight for the first time in a real fight, wearing, I mean, I think he's had one fight with 10-ounce gloves, which ain't no huge deal. They train in 16s, 18s, 20 sometimes, whatever. So that's not no huge deal. But in regards to Bud being busier than Canelo, Bud's not a super high output guy style wise. He's not known for throwing a gazillion punches. Canelo, damn sure, is economical with his punch output, to say the least. So I don't think you're gonna see a busy ass fight. I think you're gonna see a lot of moments, right? So this will be one of them fights where, it'll be positioning, some pawing. Canelo don't really use his jab a shit ton, but he'll shoot it early. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of distance finding. After that, he trying to figure out how to slide in and rip them hooks he loves so much. And then, turn them bitches into uppercuts here and there type shit. That's what Canelo, that's the type of timing he on. You feel me? He gonna come here, or he gonna come there. You know what I'm saying? And then he rarely come down here and heen. He rarely rip like that. So we know how Canelo coming, but is you gonna see a lot of posturing, positioning. Bud will be busier with the front hand. Bud's gonna out jab Canelo by a million. So you can't expect that, Miles. He's gonna win the jab battle for sure. However, when it comes to power punches, I think it's gonna be kind of even. And I might even give the edge to Canelo in power punch output, just because of the fact that he's not going to be jabbing a whole lot. You know what I mean? He's not. Canelo's path to victory ain't behind his jab. Let's be clear. Body shots, that's the thing. Bud go to the body more ways than Canelo do. And I think that's Bud's best way of slowing Canelo down. Canelo already not known for having no wild-ass gas tank. We already know that. So I think Bud going to be coming out stabbing to the body. And by him having a reach advantage, let's talk about it. By him having a reach advantage, he should be able to stab to the body all night long without getting countered, as long as he stay on his principles. That should be available to him. Even if it's getting parried here and there or whatever, he should be able to shoot that without, getting touched back. And then he could turn that into something, feint down there like he gonna stab. Canelo get tired of eating them body jabs and shit. He feint down there like he gonna stab, come upstairs with some shit. You know what I mean? But the thing is, Canelo's chin is ironclad, y'all. I done seen Gennady Golovkin hit Canelo with everything but a brick. My man head whipped around. He looked at Gennady, kept stepping to him. Now, we know that's when he was eating that mystery meat. You know what I'm saying? When he was testing positive for things. But still, man, his chin done stood up to everything. I don't see Bud stopping Canelo. Like, people like, yeah, I think Bud could win by stoppage. Bro, Bud not stopping Canelo. He not. And I'm the one who got ridiculed years before the Bud and Porter fight was ever even a thing. I got ridiculed by my boxing expert homies and shit. Like, I didn't know what I was talking about when I said Bud was going to stop Sean Porter if they ever fought. Years passed, the fight actually happened, and Bud stopped his ass. But listen, Bud not stopping Canelo, y'all. Get fucking real, chat. He not stopping Canelo. And if he do, I'll just come on here and be like, shit, I was wrong. Bud greater than even I gave him credit for. But I just seen Canelo stand. First off, Canelo defense ain't trash. His defense is not trash. Secondly, I think Bud is going to have to be measured and give Canelo a certain level of respect in the early rounds. And because of that, even if he get on the path of breaking Canelo down, I think he'll run out of time because of how he has to approach it from the get-go. to stop somebody like Canelo, even on the backside of his career, to stop somebody like that for the first time, you're going to have to start working on them early, going to the body early. And I'm talking about ripping shit too. The stabs is cool to take some gas out the tank, but you're going to have to be sliding in and really coming up underneath with some shit and really work on him. You know what I'm saying? To break him down. That's like punching on a slab of beef. Y'all seen when Rocky was in the meat freezer? Like punching on a, yeah, man, you're going to have to really like break that, man. You got to start early though. And he's not going to be able to start early like that. Not with putting some, he going to be putting shit together, but the type of emphasis on the shots, I think he's going to throw a few things to get some respect, but breaking them down from round like 2 on, no, I don't think Bud getting started in on that action that early to get a stoppage. Miles said, Bud definitely got the reach. What about resume? I mean, Canelo got a better resume, but you know, Bud's undefeated and Canelo's got questionable wins. Here's Landy Lara beat Canelo. I thought the Austin Trout fight was either a draw or a point for Austin Trout. He got some questionable wins on this shit. And then he got L's. So, I mean, who fought more of like elite level competition? Canelo, for sure. But that don't necessarily mean he the better fighter either. You know what I mean? He knows how to lose. Bud doesn't know how to lose. There's a couple of different blueprints to beating Canelo, and both blueprints, I think, still work. I don't think Canelo's added anything to his game to resolve the problems he would have if somebody came out and attempted to fight him with the same strategy as Floyd. If somebody could implement Floyd's strategy to a T, you could still use that recipe to beat Canelo. I don't think he solved those problems. And the Bivol strategy, keeping him on the outside, rocking in and out, being very, very heavy on feints and hitting him with shit respectable. Should he make any mistakes of opening up too wide? Because we know Canelo gonna open up. He gonna open up. He gonna open up. Bud know how to be sneaky with some short shit. You go to open up to throw that body hook and some shit hit you right on your chin. Short, sharp as hell, precise. And he moving out the way. I could see that shit happening. But is it gonna sleep Canelo? No. I think he eating that shit and he gonna get frustrated. Dude got a chin, folks. I'm sorry. Some of them Mexicanos, man, you can't knock them out, G. You could hit them with a chair. They gonna turn around like Terminator. You know what I'm saying? On God. But if Bud stop him, he stop him. Shit, depending on what the odds say, I'm gonna put 10 on a stoppage for Bud. Shit, depending on what the numbers say. Because if it happened, I'm definitely trying to capitalize. That's the society we in, amen. Hallelujah.
Classic.
But I just don't see it. Canelo's path to victory could be this. If he hit Bud with some hard shit to the body or even upstairs early enough in the fight to make Bud take a very reluctant approach, then Canelo could get a lot of rounds from Bud being low in activity due to being, cautious and getting rewarded rounds for being aggressive, walking forward, being aggressive, even if he throwing a bunch of hard ass shots that's getting caught on the gloves or caught by the elbows, or he move, as long as he ripping and touching something and it's just showing aggression and Bud just like kind of touching but not really able to sit on anything effective, then Canelo could be getting rewarded these rounds. If it go like that, you could see what some people would probably call a robbery. You know what I'm saying? In that situation. But Bud is superior to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo ain't stopped nobody in a while. I think his days of stopping motherfuckers is over, unless he go down to like C+ level fighters. I think his days of stopping people is over. And so I think we in for a good fight for both of these guys at this age and this stage in their career. I think we're going to get some decent action in spots, though, where there'll be some exchanges, because Bud is prone to fighting. Don't get it twisted. Terrence Bud Crawford is prone to fighting. So he going to open up a few times, here and there, and they're going to get active. So we're going to have us some moments. But I think aside from that, it's going to be a lot of chess being played with feet and hands and feints and postures and, all of that. I think it's going to be a lot of chess being played, and we'll have a lot of moments where they looking at each other and shit, and to the blind eye, nothing's going on. So I think we're going to get a reasonable amount of that. Don't get it fucked up. Neither one of these guys want to fight at a fast pace. Neither one of them interested in fighting at a fast pace. So they not finna get in there and just blitz. That shit not happening. But yeah, I got Bud by decision. If you're trying to make a safe ass bet, I got Bud by decision for sure. And if you're trying to get risky with it, I'll throw some bread on Bud by like a TKO. He not gonna spark him. So if you could bet specifically on a TKO, specifically like on a stoppage, you know what I'm saying? I will put a few dollars on that too. See if you could turn a quick little 50 into, 250, 300, some shit like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's the question of the day. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.